Coming to you live from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University, FATV presents coverage of the 2026 MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32. And tonight we have the 9:24 matchup as the Bernardians of St. Bernard's High School play host to the Bulldogs of Rockland High School. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us tonight. Whether you're from Fitchburg, Rockland, or anywhere else in this whole wide world, we're happy you're here with us for this matchup between the Dogs. For St. Bernard's, they are 17-3. They went 7-1 in the Central Mass Athletic Conference B Division. Their only loss coming to the second place team in that division, the Worcester Wildcats. That was a 3-2 overtime loss back on February the 16th. The St. Bernard side, they had a period of 12 days off from the 4th to the 16th, and then 3 games in 3 days. Ended up losing 2 of them. Lost to that Worcester team, lost to Drake and Tingsboro, the number 6 seed in Division 3, by a score of 4-2, and then put 16 goals on Keefe Tech in the middle of all of that. As it goes, but St. Bernard's comes in with a 17-3 record, just slipped out of a top 8 spot, means they may potentially have to go on the road in the round of 16 if they come away with the victory tonight. But St. Bernard's knows the goal in front of them is to just come away with the victory. After all, this is the playoffs where every game could be your last. For St. B's, this 17-3 mark is the best season they've had since they revived their ice hockey program at the very end of the pandemic. And they're looking to get themselves another playoff victory. They've picked up one of those before a couple of years ago, so they're looking for another one. For St. B's, they're led by Matthew Sylvia, who's one of the leading scorers perhaps in the entire state. Definitely the leading scorer in Central Mass. 32 goals, 36 assists for 68 points. You've got to go back a few years to find the last time anyone even had 65 points. Marcus Chrysophides, the Marlboro standout and current Keene State Owl, was really the last player in Central Mass to break 60 points. But Sylvia's already done that in the regular season, whereas Chrysophides played all the way to the state finals at the TD Garden. But obviously one of those leading scorers for the Bernardians that St. B's will be looking to lean on in the postseason. But they've got a few other heavy goal scorers. Phoenix Fortier, 19 goals, 22 assists for 41 points. Evan Walker, 19 goals, 28 assists for 47 points. And Toby Bolak with 20 goals and 19 assists for 39 points. And only twice this year has he been held off the score sheet. Bernardians will be looking to chase Bergeron in goal, a .234 goals against, a save percentage around .902. The Bernardians, a very complete team who have 2 extremely dangerous lines. That will be a challenge for a team like Rockland to stop. Rockland comes into this game with a record of 8-12. They went 5-5 in the South Shore League, and really turned it on as the season went on. They lost 8 of their first 9 games, only picking up a win against East-West Bridgewater on Boxing Day. But after a bit of a slow start, they started to turn it up as the season went on, and were winners in 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7, including a game in which they were able to beat Abington after falling to them twice earlier on in the campaign. They were finally able to conquer the Green Wave with an overtime victory. That's the strongest team that Rockland has beaten this year, the 12th seed in Division 4. But Rockland is coming off a 1-0 victory over South Shore Voke on the 18th. Cooper LaRocco had a goal, Dean Alex had an assist, and Ricky Asensi had 25 saves. That was his first shutout of the season, his second shutout of his career. Asensi has been a goaltender, a senior who's played, in games in each of the last 4 years for the Bulldogs. He's been a workhorse netminder for the Bulldogs and a big factor in getting them to where they are today. A .273 goals against, a .921 save percentage. .921 save percentage is very high for high school ice hockey, and he'll be a goalie really relied upon, especially since this Rockland team has been giving up somewhere around 37 shots per game. And this St. Bernard's team with 124 goals scored this season, that's the second best offense in the entire state. So that'll be one of the big challenges there. You imagine that Asensi is going to be challenged a lot. Rockland offensively led by Cooper LaRocco, the captain, with 31 points on the season, 18 goals, 13 assists. He has 60 career goals and 111 career points. Since the pandemic, he's the only Bulldog to enter the 100-point club. Rockland will also be relying on Jack Blondie, a junior defenseman, with 19 points on the campaign, 4 goals and 15 assists, and Dean Alex, 3 goals and 12 assists for 15 points, along with senior forward Danny Moran, 4 goals and 11 assists for 15 points. David Kane, who's second on the team in goal scoring with 10 goals, is out of the lineup tonight, and that will be a bit of a loss for this Rockland side, who have only scored 48 goals this season. We're going to let you listen into public address announcer Jim LaPointe with the pregame festivities, the starting lineups, and the national anthems. So don't go away. This is the MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32 right here on FATV.
Spectators at tonight's contest and cheering only in a positive manner. Now for the visiting Rockland Bulldogs. Starting at right wing, number 11, Owen Gouvremont. At center, number 9, Cooper Laruco. Left wing, number 8, Danny Moran. Defense for 21, Ryan Maher. Defense, number 4, Jack Bond. Then in goal for the Bulldogs, number 1, Ricky Asensi. The head coach is Stephen Murphy. And now for the Bernardians, on defense, number 17, Owen Tolson. Defense, number 3, J.J. Ga. Starting at center, number 7, Matt Sylvia. At wing, number 12, Evan Walker. At wing, number 28, Will Canada. And in goal for the Bernardians, number 1, Chase Bergeron. The head coach for the Bernardians is Stephen Sylvia. Tonight's officials, Eric Steinberg, Tim Neufeld, the referees, and Kevin McKinstry on the lines. Ladies and gentlemen, students, at this time, I would ask you all to please stand as we honor our nation and the flag with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Getting ready for puck drop here from the Wallace Civic Center here in Fitchburg. It's the 2026 MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32 between the St. Bernard's Bernardians and Rockland Bulldogs. Winner will take on either the Blue Knights of Sandwich or the Skippers of Cohasset Hull. Those two sides aren't going to be playing till Friday, so it'll be a couple days before the winner of this game figures out who they're going to be playing and where their next destination may be. Chase Bergeron making his 15th start for the Bernardians, 10-3 record, 234 goals against, 902 save percentage, 2 shutouts, and 1 assist on the season. And for the Bulldogs, Ricky Asensi, his 16th appearance. He's got 7 wins and a shutout, 273 goals against, 921 save percentage. He stopped 475 shots this season. Bulldogs will go from right to left in the road dark blue uniforms. The Bernardians will go from left to right in the home whites. J.J. Ja trying to hold in on the right side. It's moving along was Owen Gouvremont. Now here's Cooper LaRocco trying to nutmeg Matthew Sylvia. That's leading scorer on leading scorer there. unsuccessful in the endeavor. Evan Walker skates up the left wing. Walker pushed into the boards by Ryan Marr. Behind the net, Will Canada trying to center, hits the side of the net. Pops up in the air and will be settled down by Dean Alex. Alex, one of two alternate captains on this Bulldog side, along with Danny Moran. As Alex brings it up the middle, makes a move, tries to open up a shooting lane, can't see it. Lost it for a moment, fell down, got back up, kept the puck going, goes to the far side. That'll be nudged out of the zone, and it'll be dumped back in by the Bulldogs. 60 seconds gone here in Fitchburg. You know, this is the first home game for the Bernardians in the playoffs in a very, very long time. As that was shot in from the wrong side of the red line, icing will be called. We mentioned this Bernardian team has worked so hard over the years to build themselves up effectively from scratch. You know, we said they put that 16-1 administration of a lopsided victory to try to put it in the nicest possible terms, but to think when they started back out in 2021, coming out of the pandemic after a couple of years away, you know, they were on the receiving end of those lopsided games. And now you see the Bernardians with 17 wins and hosting a playoff game. Left wing corner, Brody Kenny going D to D. As that puck pops out, shot from the right side, stepping up and taking that shot was Jaden McQueen, who ends up putting that wide and off line. Still looking for a first proper shot on goal. Jack Blondie, junior defenseman, one of two captains along with Cooper LaRocco. Gets dispossessed. Carter Mauger on the left side. Tries to push that towards goal. Sensi will shepherd that away with the paddle. And that puck will come all the way out of the zone. J.J. Ja will go for Owen Tolson. Back for Ja. Ja tries to stretch it up. Walker gets a tip on it. Will wave the icing. Asinci will leave it, but left it for Walker. Backhand centering pass, didn't find anyone immediately. Canada able to get a nudge for Sylvia. Now in the left wing corner. Walker trying to move it along, tries to find Sylvia again. It'll come back to Walker. Walker turns around, puts that in the direction of goal, goes off the side of the net. Trying to nudge it out of the zone. Rockland finally able to kick it out there from Blondie, but it'll be knocked back in by the Bernardians. 12:15 to go, first period, no score, no shots. Ja with a blast from distance. That'll go off a stick and rise over the net. Onto the left side board, Sylvia holding it against the boards. Four different players pinned up against the boards trying to dig that out. A shot goes wide of the paint. Another shot from the right side. There's our first proper shot of the game. Comes from Joss, saved by Asinci. Another shot goes off the side of the net. Asinci may have gotten a piece of that. Bulldogs will stretch it out of the zone. Danny Moran will skate up the right side. We'll just dump it in and change off for some fresh legs. Dug out of the Bernardian end, and a shot goes just wide off the stick of Dean Alex. Phoenix 40 will pinned up against the boards by Alex. 40 able to retrieve that puck, keep a hold of it, and push it out of the zone. Here's Canada. He'll take the long shot from distance, and that'll be blockered away by Asinci. On the boards, far side to the near side corner. Rockland able to get it out of the zone, push it all the way up ice. That'll be wired down into the Bernardian end. Daniel Kane had that one. Was gloved down by Bergeron, now thrown from the left point in the direction of goal by Blondie, but offline. Bernardians coming back 3-on-2. Ryder Testagrossa trying to handle that on his backhand, had trouble doing so. Into the right wing corner, centering pass from Testagrossa. Doesn't go anywhere. Toby Bolak trying to get to it on the near side. Now taken by Daniel Kane. The only one of the three Canes who is active tonight. Brendan Kane also inactive for the Bulldogs. Toby Bolak's all by himself. Four Bulldogs and a goalie in front of him. He'll keep a hold of it in the right wing circle. Get a centering pass, looked for Canada, was deflected on the way. Shot from Ja is offline, misses to the left. A delayed penalty coming in, it's against Rockland. Bergeron is off for the extra attacker, 6 skaters on. Sylvia can't do anything with it before it's touched up there by James Lavasser. First power play of the contest will go to St. Bernard's with 4:57 gone in the first. Roughing will be the call, as Dean Alex will sit for 2 minutes. A number of dangerous playmakers for the Bernardians. They never actually put the penalty on the board. Shot save by Cincy, another shot stopped by Cincy. They'll have to straighten all of that out, perhaps at the next whistle. As Ja on the right side, shot saved by Cincy, rebound handled first by the Bulldogs. Could have been particularly dangerous there. Ja has it at the point, goes to the left side. Walker blast saved by Cincy, and he'll jump on that puck and cover. 9:33 to go in the first. There's 1:34 on the penalty, but it should be set to 1:30. We'll see if our officials have actually noticed this and ask for a particular adjustment, but it appears that no adjustments will be made. Well, the Bernardians are going to get a few extra seconds of power play time out of all of this. Ja from the right side, shot gets through all the traffic. It makes it to Ricky Cincy's pads. He'll make the save. Another shot that goes off the backboards and off the back of the net. Phoenix Fortier will pick it up now for the Bernardians. Tries to get a pass off LaRocco. LaRocco is able to get in the way of it, and he's able to send it down the ice. 18 goals, 13 assists for the senior captain, Cooper LaRocco. Matthew Sylvia, the left wing corner. Go out to the left point for Walker. Back for Sylvia. Tries to get it across. Wanted to feed Bolak. Nicely disrupted there by LaRocco. Now from the left dot, a shot save. And another shot goes wide. Cincy's already been tested a lot. 8 shots on goal already for the Bernardians. 8:30 to go in the first period. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. The times you see on your screen wired into the scoreboard here at the Civic Center. Everything is as accurate as can be as Rockland is able to dump it around the boards and out of the zone. Bergeron will leave it there. Brody Kenny will try to stretch it up ice. Our man who was trying to change off. Bernardians didn't have anybody out there. And now Alex is out of the box. Rockland is back to full strength. Yeah, the player who was struck by the puck there was switching off and nobody had actually come onto the ice, so no issues there. Testagrossa tries to protect that puck. Comes to the left point, shot by Kenny. Cut down off a number of legs. Now rushing up ice, here is Dean Alex with fresh legs out of the sin bin. You can hear roars from the far side. Strong contingent of Bernardian fans on the far side. And a solid amount of Rockland fans who've been able to make the long trek up. Past the halfway point in this first period. Still looking for our first goal. Shots 8-1 in favor of the Bernardians. Cody Warren back in his own end for the Bernardians, trying to pass it up the boards to Will Canada, found the mark. Now Toby Bolak with a bit of a rush. He's got Moget to his right, but a number of Bulldogs in strong positioning. Flipped out to the right side. Adam Rendon tries to get something going. Pass from Bolak finds Warren, but on the wrong side of the blue line, Bernardians have to tag up. Bulldogs tried taking on the near side. Phoenix Fortier able to pick it off the boards. Tries to ward off Blondie. Thrown in front. Found the stick of Levasseur. Rockland able to get it to the red line, but dumped back in by the Bernardians. The Bulldogs struggling to sustain anything offensively, but the defense has been solid and sound. Testagrossa in the left wing corner for St. Bees. One-timer flubbed on a little bit there by Sylvia. Doesn't make its way to a Cincy. Owen Gouvermont, he's an 8th grader, will throw it around the boards. LaRocco tries to throw it through the slot. Nobody there on the other side. Lavasser trying the centering feed. That's cut down as well. Bernardians get it out of the zone. Walker will backhand it in the zone. Takes a shove in the back from Alex for good measure. Now Canada, top of the right circle. Shot saved by Cincy. I don't think he was quite sure where it was, but he did have it. And he'll make the stop. 5:33 to go, first period, no score. Coming in tonight, Ricky Cincy has faced exactly 1,700 shots across the last 4 years. He stopped 1,533 of them. That's a save percentage of .902 across his 4-year career. And this year, .921 save percentage. Great numbers to support his side. Warren trying to hit it off the boards, aimed a little too high and got it into the Rockland bench instead. And we'll get a draw with 5:14 to go in the first. These two teams coached by Stevens. Steven Sylvia for the Bernardians, 4th-year head coach, father of Matthew. And Stephen Murphy in his 5th season as the head coach of Rockland. Bernardians win the draw, try to rush up ice. Evan Walker trying to gain some speed, trying to get a break, gets the shot off, saved by Cincy. Already the 10th save that the senior netminder's been asked to make. 5 seconds short of 10 minutes gone in this first period. As we mentioned, the Bernardians have 4 different players who have more points this season than the leading scorer for Rockland. And Evan Walker's got 1 fewer point than every goal that Rockland has scored this season. This is a Rockland team that really relies on its defense and goaltending to keep them in games. Daniel Kane looking to get a shot on, but nothing going on that. Cody Warren keeping a hold of that puck, protecting it and getting the pass off for Brody Kenny. 40er with a touch, that comes out of the zone. Back in and then off the hand of Kenny and into the stands. Brody's got a twin brother, Daniel, who plays sports for St. Bernard's as well, but he plays boys basketball instead. It's interesting to have a pair of twins who are not playing the same sport. Out in Central Mass, we've seen some twins light up the scoreboard, most notably Liam and Connor Kalu of Littleton Bromfield, who actually have the 3rd best offense in the state, 123 points, 123 goals this season. Shot from the left side, that ends up going offline and will ricochet out of the zone. Rendon will dump it in off the backboards from behind the net. Picked up now by the Bernardians, but Rendon not able to do anything with it. Now up ice, shot from Moran, well off target. The opportunities have been few and far between for Rockland in the early going. It's just surviving the onslaught of chances that St. Bernard's has been able to generate, especially on that man advantage earlier. I believe about 5 of those shots that they have got in this contest out of the 10 in total have come on that man advantage. Cam McGuire on the left side, a freshman, a junior. Sometimes you read your stat sheet too quickly. 5 seniors, 7 juniors for Rockland on this 21-player roster. On the near side, here's Jack Blondie. He gets the shot off and the save made by Bergeron. Bernardians get it out of the zone, dumped back in. Glove down by Bergeron. They were offside. Wouldn't have counted had it gone. Loaded up ice, now taken by Walker, had the opportunity. Cincy was able to stick right with him. Walker ran out of space very quickly and tried to beat Cincy to the far post, but the senior keeper got there first. 2:50 to go in the first period, still no score, shots 11-2. And here's Cooper LaRocco with an opportunity, but he's dispossessed. Now Sylvia to the top of the left circle. Dot shot saved by Asinci. Out of the zone it'll come. Kenny blows the tires. He tries to get to that puck. He's able to get to it though on the second effort. Bernardians regain the zone, 2-on-2. Looking for the opening, maybe thinking about the wraparound. They get it! Matthew Sylvia! Able to sneak that one in! His 33rd goal of the season makes it 1-0 St. Bernard's. How quickly he can move, I'm not even sure how he was able to get it past. It takes a great move to beat a great goalie. And Sylvia's 33rd goal, his 69th point. And the first strike finally comes for St. Bernard's. LaRocco trying to settle it. Now he'll get it back on the left side. Try to shoot through a Bernardian. But Cody Warren able to close up the legs and wouldn't let that space stay open. Offside is going to be called here. 13th shot of the period.
Assist number 12, Evan Walker. Time of that goal, 12:41, first period. Sylvia assisted by Walker at 12:41.
Evan Walker picks up his 29th assist, his 48th point of the season. One of the interesting things I've noticed about Sylvia is across the season, when he scores, he's usually nonchalant, act like you've been there before, that type of celebration, which is basically a non-celebration. That time, though, he was very happy to get that goal. Meanwhile, the Bernardians trying to get it settled on their stick, try to get a shot on Asinci. But Rockland, with good positioning, just would not let them get comfortable. There's a shot turned aside by Asinci. Stepping up there was Tolson. Now Testa Grossa at the top of the left circle, trying to find Fortier. Kept in there by Tolson, able to reach out, get his stick, knock it up in the air, but it'll be settled down by Jaden McQueen. McQueen will dump in, now be turned aside by Bergeron. Be just the third shot of the contest for Rockland. Shots 14-3, like a football score. But the score just 1-0 as we enter the last minute of the first period. McQueen bodied off the puck there. Onto the near side and back to the far. Here is Evan Walker. Up the left side, trying to take it all the way. But you can see all of the Bulldogs were back there. It's going to be a tough path to navigate. Out of the zone, dump back in. 25 seconds to go in the first period of play, as that's wired back towards goal. And it's inside of Cinci's pads there. Want to make sure it's definitely out of his pads there. He's got his 14th save of the contest, 22.2 to go in the first. So that was wired across there. I think that got the inside of his right pad. Sort of where the knee is. It's an awkward place to make a save if you're a goalie. Walker from the left corner. 7 seconds to go in the first period. Can't get a pass off. Sylvia trying to win that puck. Sends a Bulldog to the ice. Shot into the corner. Maybe trying to find Canada on the tight side, but he's not able to turn a shot on goal before the buzzer sounds to bring an end to the first period. 15 of the first 18 shots go to St. Bernard's, but only one goal to be found. And through 15 minutes of play, it's St. Bernard's with a 1-0 lead. You can see for Rockland, definitely in the early going, the big thing has been trying to protect their goaltender, try to do everything they can to support their keeper. and limit the extremely high danger chances. Obviously, I think this Bulldog side knows they are going to give up a number of shots in this contest. They've been giving up around 37 a game. And St. Bernard's has had their opportunities here and there. It was basically that wraparound that came out of pretty much nowhere. That was the only goal that we had in the first 15 minutes. And from the leading scorer, Matthew Sylvia, the junior captain from Fitchburg, has his 33rd goal of the season and his 69th point. And through 15 minutes of play, it's a 1-0 lead for the 9-seed Bernardians of St. Bernard's over the 24-seed Bulldogs of Rockland. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little more about this contest, and we'll have the second period for you coming up soon, so don't go away. This is the 2026 MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Playoffs on FATV. We're back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. One period in the books between the 9-seed St. Bernard's Bernardians and the 24-seed Rockland Bulldogs. And St. B's has a 1-0 lead on a goal by Matt Sylvia. Daniel Bolak here with you, Isaiah Manuel on camera. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. The only goal coming with 2:19 to go in the first. As Matthew Sylvia, seeing how challenging it has been to generate offensive opportunities, took matters into his own hands. Made a rush behind the goal, was able to wrap it around, beat Ricky Asensi to the near side post, and deposit his 33rd goal of the season. That's the only goal we've seen in this contest. 15-3, the shots in favor of St. Bernard's through 15 minutes of play. Rockland will now go from left to right. St. Bernard's will go from right to left here in this second period of play. Rockland trying to get a hold of the puck, trying to get it out of the zone off the stick of Ryan Marr, but taken down by Matthew Sylvia, now behind the net. Finally poked free and pops it out behind the net. Owen Gouvermont is able to move it up to the middle of the ice. Danny Moran tries to get a touch on, nothing going there. Dumped back into the zone by the Bernardians. Jack Blondie from behind his own net. Out to the near side for Moran. Trying to push it up ice. But Owen Tolson will send it back in the direction from which it came. Now a steal, a takeaway, but we have a whistle. And a stoppage of play with 50 seconds gone. That may be slightly ajar there. Faceoff will come outside of the Rockland zone. Draw one by the Bernardians. Brody Kenny will send it around the boards to the right side. Toby Bolak in the corner. Cody Warren a blast. Redirected on the way, the save made, another shot, that goes over the net. And another chance in front. Ricky Asensi has been lights out in this game. He's played tremendously well in this contest. A lesser goalie, it'd already be 4-0. But since he has kept it 1-0, his icing is called against the Bernardians. Rockland 8-12 coming into today. A very strong strength of schedule for them. A shot straight off the draw by Dean Alex. Will be stopped by Chase Bergeron. Just the fourth save required out of the senior. Phoenix Fortier skating up the middle of the ice. Fortier with the moves, tries to get the backhand on, drew a penalty. Bolak turnaround shot was stopped. 2 saves for Asensi, and the penalty will be given. It will be a hook. Jack Blondie goes to the box. And for the Bulldogs, that was a good penalty to take. That was a great scoring opportunity for St. Bernard's. foiled a little bit by the hook, but even then, they still got that great shot from Bolak, that second effort. Blondie will sit for 2 minutes or less.
2-minute line for hooking.
Sylvia, top of the left circle, shot, stopped by Asinci. Able to protect that near side corner. Move his body up there and get that one pinned against his arm and his torso. Draw one by Rockland, try to get it out of the zone, but Sylvia keeps it at the left point. Rolls up the boards to Walker, back to Sylvia. Now Evan Walker. Walker looking for some space, right side, shot, scores! Toby Bolak from the right side on the one-timer. Power play goal for the Bernardians. Makes it 2-0. As I said, the hooking penalty was one that Rockland absolutely had to take. But ultimately, St. Bernard's, some good keeps in the zone there by Sylvia to keep it going. Got the feed off to Walker, saw the opportunity, but passed up to Bolak for an even stronger chance. And the junior forward has his 21st goal of the season. He's now scored in 19 out of 21 games this year. That one's going to be tipped in the direction of goal, float in front of the blue paint, and Chase Bergeron is able to jump on that and cover it. 12:40 to go.
Scored by number 23, Toby Bolak. Assist to number 12, Evan Walker. Time of that power play goal, 1:56, second period.
And Sylvia getting a secondary assist on that one. As it goes in the sheet for now, they'll just give the one assist to Walker. Puck dangerously floating in the slot, but Rockland not able to get on that one quickly enough. LaRocco able to send it around the boards. Back to the right side, St. Bernard's will have it. And Tolson off the boards, knocked down by Alex, thrown in the direction of goal. But J.J. Jaw will pick up the puck before it makes its way to Bergeron. Here's Toby Bolak on the right side. Button hooks, protects the puck. Does so a second time. Now the right side, out in front. Couldn't get the shot cleanly away. Queen. Pushing it up for Alex. Alex can't keep a hold on that one. Following on, trying to push that on was Kane. Daniel Kane gets dispossessed and his stick goes flying for his efforts. Or a stick goes flying for anybody's efforts. Evan Walker with the steal there. Right side, now back to the left. Pass for no one in particular, but Kenny pinching up will be first to arrive. Will Canada shoved into the boards. Shot kick saved by Asinci. The left side of Walker. Mardigan's trying to protect that puck on the right side. And that one turned back towards goal and a save by Ricky Asinci. 11:02 to go, second period, 2-0 Bernardians in front. The South Shore League, where Rockland played, every one of the 6 teams in that league made the playoffs this year. Co-champions between Norwell and the co-op of Middleborough Carver Wareham. Both of them went 9-1 this year. Well, that one dangerous in front. An awkward bounce off the boards, and Moran nearly read it well enough to try to push that past Bergeron. Icing against St. Bernard's. Norwell coming into the playoffs 13-5-3. The Middleborough co-op 14-5-1. Then you had Abington and Rockland at 5-5. Abington the 12th seed in Division 4. The Middleborough Co-op, the 15 seed in Division 3, Norwell, the 6 in Division 4. Abington went 12-9 this year. Rockland, as we know, 8-12. Face-off control by the Bernardians. JJ Ja for Carter Moget off his skate. He can't handle it. Here's a chance for Rockland. Trying to go for the wraparound. Just couldn't quite get it around. Bergeron able to get to the near side post first, and the momentum knocks the net off its moorings. Doesn't take a whole lot of force to knock these nets off. I mean, that's health and safety after all. Face-off will come to the left of Bergeron, won by the Bulldogs. Shot saved by Bergeron. Rebound popped up in the air, ends up going to the left side of the net and behind. Rockland's finding a couple opportunities here. They've already got more shots in the second period than they had in all of the first. As Will Canada tried to take it all the way to goal, but two Bulldogs standing up strong, and ultimately Cincy is able to send it into the right wing corner. Alex tries to sweep that puck down ice. St. Bernard's keeps control of it. Now Walker, shot, hits the side of the net. A few Bernardians fans thought that one had found its way in, seeing the twine tickled, but it was from the wrong side. Icing against Rockland. Even the bottom two teams in the South Shore, the Cohasset Hull Co-op and East West Bridgewater, both made the playoffs. Cohasset Hull, the 25 seed in Division 4, in East West Bridgewater, even with a 6-16 record, stuck in as the 32nd and final team, at least in the group that was in the top 32. They did play a preliminary round game and did not win it. Now Dean Alex trying to rush up ice. Alex with 3 goals on the season. Not able to get himself in a shooting position. Shot changes direction a number of times. He got into another dangerous position. And again, the puck drifts harmlessly wide to the left of the cage. Toby Bolak, who's got goal number 2, tries to stretch that up for Phoenix Fortier. The pass from the wrong side of the red line, icing called. You'll note that in the playoffs we have 3 officials, 2 referees and a linesman. During the regular season is just 2 referees, no linesmen. And with the 2 referees and the linesman, it also means that for once the officials have to put on those orange stripes. Off the draw, shot toe save by Bergeron. Coming off the stick of Jack Blondie. Junior captain, he's defenseman, who's really provided a lot of offense for this Bulldog side this year. Blondie still in control of that puck. Tight angle shot hits the side of the net. There's Moran, back to the right side. Trying to keep a hold of that one was Moran, but had trouble, or that was LaRocco. Now tight angle shot from the far side. And Bergeron able to seal his pad against the post. He kept that one out. The senior keeper being tested a little more in the second period. He's made 6 saves. Shots are 7-6 in favor of St. Bernard's in this second frame. The Bernardians have the 1 goal in this second period. Power play goal from Toby Bolak after Matthew Sylvia got the goal in the first period. St. B's wins the draw. Ryder Testagrossa took it up the right side, lost the handle on it. Off the boards, can't be knocked out of the zone. It's kept in from the right side there by Warren. Try to go tight angle backhand there on the far side post. Couldn't quite get it to go. Blondie protecting that puck. He'll push it out of the zone with the backhand. Bolak will go all the way back to Warren in his own end. Off the glass and down the ice to the Rockland blue line. Wired in from the left point. That shouldered down by Bergeron. Toby Bolak up the left side. Lost the handle on it. Rockland will push up ice. Try to feed LaRocco. LaRocco with some nice moves. Got the shot off, but goes off a defenseman. Now back to the Rockland blue line it goes. 7:10 to go, second period, 2-0 Bernardians. Here's Dean Alex. Brody Kenny with the dispossession. Sylvia trying to stretch it up. Will Canada tripped over the blue line. As Blondie's first to arrive, he's had a very long shift here. Sylvia with a distance shot from the left point. Bit offline since he gets a piece. It's going to come all the way back down on goal. Bergeron covers it up. And there's an extra shove there by Rendon. I imagine the Rockland faithful are appealing for a penalty. I feel they've got a point. The extra shove, I think, was a bit gratuitous. But nevertheless, nothing will be called there. Perhaps that's the one free slug. Great chance off the draw there from Jaden McQueen. The freshman's got 2 goals this season. Generated a good opportunity there. This Rockland side does have a number of younger players, 2 sophomores, 5 freshmen, and 2 8th graders. Rockland is a 9 through 12 school, but low enough numbers, they do have a middle-level waiver that allows them to use 8th graders on the lowest team that they have, and Rockland doesn't have a JV team. So those 8th graders are allowed to play on the varsity side. It's a long stretch pass. Evan Walker will get there. Try the self-pass to the right side. Will Canada. 2 Bulldogs will try to take control of that puck, and they'll be able to spit it down the ice, where it'll go for icing. 6:07 to go in the second. Shots 7 apiece in the second period. Another draw comes to the left of Ricky Asensi. It'll be won by Rockland. Can't be kept in the zone there. But JJ John's got to get on his horse to try to collect that puck. Rockland trying to take it out of that right side corner. Just can't keep a handle on it. Testa Gross up the left side for the Bernardians. They'll skate into the corner. A lot of pressure, a lot of stick work, a lot of fighting for it. Rockland comes up with it. Off the boards, down the ice. Testa Grossa with the stick on. Round to the near side, Phoenix 40er. Here's LaRocco. Danny Moran on the right side. He'll gain the zone. Chase that one behind the net. Brody Kenny will move it along, though, for Testa Grossa. Out of the zone it'll come to the red line. Push back in. Testa Grossa try to move it along. Puck at the linesman. Testa Grossa's got it back, though. Will carry it all the way. His shot is blocked. Wing trying to get it out of the zone, but picked up by Fortier. Fortier trying to take it all the way. Right side shot, score! No, I thought it was a score. Thought I saw the net twinkle. Thought I saw the net move, thought it was a great shot, thought it was a great goal. But no, I'm very much mistaken. Instead, Rockland will have a chance on the right side, and the shot stopped by Bergeron. Well, it's better news for Rockland fans, I imagine. .4:32 to go, second period. 2-0 St. Bernard's in front. And off the draw, St. Bernard's quickly rushing up. Walker with the shot, since he's going to get a piece of that. To the near side, Walker trying to pull it off the boards, tries to keep control of it, gets it and throws it over the net. Bulldogs get it out of the zone. Brody Kenny, and forward from Walker's stick. Levasseur sending it down the boards, and now Dean Alex going to have a break on goal. He shoots, saved by Bergeron. Then wanting to fire there was Daniel Kane, but Alex got in that position, made it awkward, couldn't fire. Now Kenny whiffs on the puck there, tries to keep control. Sylvia's shot turned aside. Trying to jam away at it, backhand chance from the top of the paint, and that's stopped by Asensi. Seeing more and more great chances here. Some chances on both ends, as we said. Rockland already 9 shots in this second period of play. St. Bernard's is 8, but they've got the goal from this frame. 2-0 to the Bernardians in this round of 32 matchup. Draw one by the Bernardians. Tolson trying to move back to Testagrossa. Now a shot from Bolak, saved by Asensi. Fortier, all the way to the right point. Rendon behind the net. Fortier. Now back for Tolson. Fortier trying to generate some space. Gets the shot off. Hits the side of the net. Saw a number of Bernardian fans react there, but once again, that puck does not enter the net. At least I wasn't fooled this time. Tolson through a lot of traffic and a kick save by Asensi. Cooper LaRocco pushes it out from behind the net. Now Rockland trying to transition. 2-on-2. LaRocco gets a good shot off. It's punched away by Bergeron. 2:35 to go in the second. 2-0 St. Bernard's in front. Bergeron, who's been a 4-year starter for St. B's. His older sister Hannah played 4 years at Arcadia in Pennsylvania, and she was the starting goalie this very first year that St. Bernard's came back in 2021. We'll check on the net on the other side, make sure that's all set and ready. The referee over there confirms that yes, Ricky Asensi's net is good to go. Now a 2-on-2 for the Bernardians. Walker with the shot, and another save for Ricky Asensi. The MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32 winner will either take on Sandwich or Cohasset Hull. That game will be Friday night, the game between Sandwich and Cohasset Hull. There are very obvious reasons why they're not playing that game tonight as originally scheduled. And for everyone on the South Shore and the Cape who've had to deal with this horrible blizzard, we're sending you the best of thoughts. That puck was deemed to have exited the confines of the playing surface. So have another face-off to the left of Asensi. Daniel Kane was encroaching there. Linesman wasn't having that. Cody Warren off the draw, tries to move that in front. Jaden McQueen, stretch pass. Dean Alex is going to have another break, but he's not able to get the shot off cleanly. Owen Tolson was able to get back there. Brody Kenny, one of them. Was Kenny there, able to race back quickly to shut down that play. Thought Dean Alex was going to have a little more time to work with. And I wonder if maybe he thought he was going to have more time to work with on that. The save made, and now here's another break. Phoenix Fortier turned aside. Danny Moran backhands it into the zone, paddled down by Bergeron. Warren around to the near side, Fortier. Now Toby Bolak. On the right side, loses an edge. Gets back on his skates and keeps it going. To the right point for Warren. Shot goes wide through a lot of bodies. There's another shot there for Tolson. That was patted away by Asinci. 25 saves for the senior netminder. Gives him exactly 500 saves on the season. Came in with 475.
1 minute, last minute of play, second period.
Final minute of play in the second period. Rockland able to backhand that out of the zone and down the ice, but will go for icing. 47.7 remain in the second period. Now that Sandwich Cohasset Hull game, if Sandwich comes away with the victory, then the winner of this game is going to be going down to the Cape to take on the Blue Knights. I think someone did a good impersonation of a whistle there. Walker was able to get the shot off, and Asinci was able to make the save. That or just a very awkward sounding whistle from one of our 3 on-ice officials. And since he was able to make the save anyway, though. LaRocco wires it in from 90, and it'll be gloved out of the air by Bergeron, his 15th save of the night. 31.2 in the second. Now, if Cohasset Hull were able to pull off the upset, then the Skippers are going to be traveling to the winner of this game. That'll be, again, a date and time to be confirmed, but we know it can't be in the next 2 days because that game has to get played first. Originally scheduled for Wednesday, they're going to play Friday night. LaRocco with Ja providing the pressure. Can't get that off, and now Evan Walker on the left side. Tries to drop it off, but nothing going there. 7 seconds to go in the period. Rockland will try to push, maybe get one last chance. They're not going to get a shot off before the buzzer sounds. A half hour of hockey has been played here at the Wallace Civic Center. Shots are 28-15 in this contest. 13-12 in favor of St. Bernard's in that second period. But Toby Bolak's goal on the power play, the only strike that we saw in the second frame. And through 30 minutes of play, it's St. Bernard's 2 and Rockland nothing. It's been a close game. It's been an exciting game. Both teams have had their chances. Rockland definitely having many more chances in that second period. I would argue they played the second a lot better than they played the first. For that power play goal by Bolak, extending the lead to 2-0. And it's taken very, very good shots to beat Ricky Asinci. That netminder has been an absolute rock for Rockland. Pun only partially intended. But he's got 26 saves tonight. He's looked sharp, and he's been doing everything in his power to keep St. B's to just 2 goals. Both the goals that he's conceded, extremely high degree of difficulty opportunities. Extremely challenging shots for goalies to stop. It's taken basically the best of chances for St. B's to beat Asinci. And for Rockland, only 3 shots in the first period, and none of them were particularly great opportunities on Bergeron either. But a lot of better chances in that second period. And Chase Bergeron had to work a lot more in that second. But he's been as solid as can be. He's stopped all 12 shots in that second period. So 2-0 through 30 minutes of play. And I imagine this is going to continue to be an exciting game that'll go all the way down to the wire. And you'll want to stick with us for that. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. Third period of action will be coming up soon. So don't go away. This is the 2026 MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32 right here on FATV. We're back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. 30 minutes in the books here in this 2026 MIAA Division IV Boys Ice Hockey Round of 32 matchup between the Bernardians of St. Bernard's and the Bulldogs of Rockland. And currently it's the 9 seed St. Bernard's with a 2-0 lead over the 24 seed of Rockland on goals from Matthew Sylvia and Toby Bolak. Daniel Bolak here with you, Isaiah Manuel on camera. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. I would say, though, the story of the contest, with the shots 28-15 in favor of St. B's, the story has been the play, I think, of Rockland netminder Ricky Asinci, who's made 26 saves in this contest. Has been playing his darndest to keep his side in it. The second period definitely more balanced than the first when it was 15-3, the shots. 13-12 in the second frame, and a power play goal for St. Bernard's, the only goal that we saw in that second period, although there may have been a couple other opportunities that looked like they were going to go in, but didn't quite make it. For both of these teams, they're looking for their first trip to the round of 16 since the MIAA went to the statewide format in high school ice hockey in the boys' side post-pandemic. St. Bernard's did win a playoff game in 2023, beating St. John Paul II 5-3. That was a preliminary round game. The reward after going down to Hyannis to take that victory was to turn around and go to Sandwich to Bourne to play the Blue Knights the very next day. The team bus burned a lot of gasoline during those 2 days. Down to the Cape and back, down to the Cape and back. The Bernardians have been to the round of 32 each of the last 2 years, in addition to that season in 2023. Their 4th straight season in the round of 32, but have yet to come up with a victory there. That's dumped down. Losing to Meanwhile, for Rockland, they're trying to get their first playoff victory in the statewide format. Haven't won a playoff game since 2019. That shot off the stick of Jack Blondie is sticked away by Bergeron into the netting and out of play. In 2024, the Bernardians lost to Hanover in the round of 32. In 2025, they lost to Old Rochester Fairhaven. Last year, Rockland lost to Dedham, who actually go on to be a state finalist. And then the other time they made the playoffs, as there was a good shot by Bolak, stopped by Asinci. Before that, the previous time they made the playoffs, they lost to Dedham again. I know Monty Tech Fitchburg, when they made the playoffs during one of these early 2020 years, they also lost to Dedham in the first round. The Marauders are a team that sure like to dash other teams' playoff hopes. Face off to the left of Asinci, won by the Bernardians, 40er, trying to get it to Bolak. Jack Blondie with strong work to keep him from getting his stick on the puck. Jaden McQueen on the right side, outnumbered and loses a handle on it. Carter Moget up the left side. Moget into the corner. As that one ended up getting centered off the pads of Asinci. And now pushed forward. Here's Dean Alex. Had a couple opportunities. Gets the shot off, but offside call. McQueen was a bit too early into the zone. Yep, since we went to this statewide system in 2022, this is the 5th year of this system. Neither of these teams have seen the round of 16. I know for St. Bernard's, though, this is the first time they've been the better seed going into this. As Sylvia tried to get it to Walker, pass was disrupted. Tight angle opportunity, nothing going there. Discipline's been strong in this contest, only 2 penalties, both against Rockland. Now Walker, left side, backhand behind the net. Bulldogs try to clear it away, but it comes to Sylvia on the left side. Now a shot, change direction on the way, Cincy there all the way. Sylvia, tight angle, off a Cincy stick. Now another chance, that's blocked in front. Back into the left circle. Sylvia whiffs on it. Tries to get into the slot. But now numbers coming for Rockland. Here's Jack Blondie with a shot, kick away by Bergeron. Cooper LaRocco with another shot and another kick save. And that came right to Dean Alex. He couldn't get it on his stick. Now a 2-on-2 back the other way. Here's Walker. Walker trying to feed, but pass cut off in front. Testagrossa was lurking there. Or perhaps it was Canada. It was the latter. 12:20 to go, third period, 2-0 St. Bernard's in front. Carter Moget, his shot saved by a Cincy with the left pad. Right off his pads and forward. Daniel Kane with the shot. That's offline. That's gloved down. Can't be released. To the right side, Gouvermont. The 8th grader battling there. The only 8th grader in the lineup tonight for Rockland. Mentioned earlier, Brendan Kane, a scratch. Jack Blondie gets in the zone, gets the shot off, and Bergeron catches the line drive. Holds for a draw. Blondie's name spelled like the word blonde, but you pronounce it as if there's an extra I in there. Now tight angle chance, jamming away 2-3 times at the near side post. And it's not in the net. Bergeron trying his hardest to hold that post and prevent that puck from trickling in. And another Bernardian in the net itself trying to keep that puck out of there. Another strong opportunity for Rockland. Shots 5-4 in this period in favor of the Bulldogs. They've evened it up since the first intermission. Still trailed by 2 goals. Backhanded off the boards near side and pushed out of the zone all the way back to the blue line. James Lavasser moving it forward. A little difficulty keeping hold of it on the red line. Here's Will Canada. On the right side, his shot will be punched away by a Cincy. Getting the blocker up there and just directing away. Another shot, another save for a Cincy. From the far side, turnaround shot by Walker. Goes off a leg in front. Now back to Matt Sylvia. Left circle. Now the right side shot, scores! Brody Kenny with a snipe. His 7th goal of the season makes it 3-0 St. Bernard's. The right side of the slot, it gets to the defenseman. And the junior from Leominster able to wire that up over the left pad of Ricky Asensi. 3-0 to the blue and gold. Stretched up ice, Toby Bolak. There's 3 Bulldogs draped on his back. Hard to get that away. Dean Alex on the near side. Gains the red, now the blue, trying to get through everybody. Too many Bernardians in the way. Brody Kenny up on the far side. Nothing going, but now a tight angle shot. Save by Asensi. Testagrossa picks it up on the left half boards. Phoenix 40er. To JJ Ja. Ja with a shot past 40er. Tried to propel it in front, looked for Kenny or for Bolak. Didn't find either. Out of the zone it comes. Near side wired in. Glove down by Bergeron. No one actively checking, so he must play on.
Number 15, Brody Kenny. Assist to number 19, Adam Rendon. And number 7, Matt Sylvia. Time of that goal was 4:14 of the third period.
Sylvia gets an assist there. I have a whistle with 9:19 to go in the third. Two or 3 points for Sylvia tonight, since they didn't announce him as an assist on the second goal, but I think he's got one there. Regardless by measures, they'll get him to 70 points on the season. Good walk or the good opportunity of Cincy holding that near side post, denying that chance. Also an assist for Adam Rendon, his 5th of the campaign. Here's LaRocco up on the right side. LaRocco with space, shoots, hits the post. Rockland's had some good opportunities tonight. Even had some good opportunities in this period, but have been yet to solve Chase Bergeron. Numbers perhaps for the Bernardians. Shot saved by Asensi. Good chance there by Sylvia. Matthew Sylvia already in the 100-point club. He got there early on in this season. He's a junior too. So one more season you would expect. You could make the argument perhaps he's mastered this level of hockey. Offside against Rockland. But on the other hand, the head coach is his dad. But it'll be interesting to see where Matthew Sylvia ends up in the point tallies next season, whether it's with the Bernardians or a junior team. Face-off won by St. Bees. Pushed off the boards. To the Rockland blue line, now to the red line, and it's dumped back in by Cody Warren. Marr trying to get it out of the zone, but shot right back in. On the right side, Alex for Blondie. Now for Kane, stretching it up. McQueen couldn't handle it as cleanly as he would have liked. Here's the takeaway. Testagrossa with the shot, and the save made by Asensi. Left wing corner, Testagrossa off the boards. The left point shot, Asensi sees it all the way. He gloves that for his 35th save of the night. 38 shots for the Bernardians with 7:35 to go in the third. They've got a 3-0 lead. Shots now in this frame, 10-5 in favor of St. Bernard's. They've had at least the last 6. Sylvia take the draw, will win it to Evan Walker. Has to back in it back to Sylvia. We'll try to float it along the boards. Ryan Marr moving it along to the near side. Will Canada in the right wing corner, battling with James Levasseur. Canada still in control of it. Round to the right wing corner. Off the boards and around to the left wing corner. Canada holding left dot. His shot blocked in front and shut down. Owen Gouvermont up the middle of the ice. Drop pass, tries to get to LaRocco. Can't get a hold of it. Evan Walker now on the left side. Walker, shot saved by Cincy. Off the boards and out of the zone and dumped back in again. 6:30 to go in this contest. 3-0 Bernardians in front. Centering feed, backhand shot by Sylvia was blocked. Mara was in the way of that. Walker, tight angle, shot save, rebound. Another save there for Cincy. That'll be sent down the ice. Will it go for icing? It will not. J.J. Jah will pick it up back in his own end. Off the boards, the near side, out of the reach of Kane. Jah will take it instead. Will Canada dumps it right on target. Another save for Cincy. Under 6 minutes to go. 5:35 to go in this game. St. Bernard's up 3-0. Here's a 2-on-2. Dean Alex as it poked off his stick. Well, Blondie going around the boards to the left side, trying to get himself in a position where he can shoot. Back and forth it goes. Held in at the left point and a shot well offline. St. B's with the rush up now. Shot behind the net will come out to Cody Warren. He'll throw it in the left wing corner. Phoenix 40 are trying to play it off the bounce. Levasseur gets there first. Blondie flipping it forward for Alex. Brody Kenny will get there first. St. B's has had one goal in each of the 3 periods in this contest. Matthew Sylvia in the first, Toby Bolak in the second, Brody Kenny in the third. 20 saves for Chase Bergeron, 36 saves for Ricky Asensi. 4:20 remains. That home run pass cut down. On to feed LaRocco, who St. Bernard's has done a tremendous job in shutting down tonight. LaRocco sends it forward out of the reach of Alex and all the way down for icing. Again, the winner of this game will take on either Sandwich or Cohasset Hull. If Cohasset Hull wins that game on Friday down at Gallo Arena in Bourne, then the winner of this game will host that round of 16 matchup. But if Sandwich wins, then the winner of this game has to make the trip down to Gallo and play that round of 16 game there. Good opportunity there. Sylvia with a good one-timer and another save for Cincy. Said coming into today, Rockland's given up 37 shots a game. Cincy now has 37 saves to his credit. Jah on to Walker. Past him to Canada. Walker, tight angle shot saved by Asensi again. There'll be a penalty with 3:30 to go in the third, and for the first time tonight, someone's going to sit in the bin for St. Bernard's. Matthew Sylvia will skate right over. He knew what he did. So we'll finally get a chance to see what Rockland's power play can do. Dean Alex for LaRocco. Shoots, scores! The shutout snap with 3:25 to go in the third. Less than 5 seconds into the power play. It's Cooper LaRocco with his 19th goal of the season to make it 3-1.
That was a 2-minute line for slashing. Time of that penalty, 11:30, third period.
One of the things tonight is how the Bernardians have done so well in shutting down LaRocco, not letting him get comfortable in the rare instances that he is able to get the puck in the Bernardian zone. But with one less player on the ice, he was able to get it, wind and fire. And beautifully sniped past Bergeron.
Cooper LaRocco, assist to number 5, Dean Alex. Time of that power play goal was 11:35, third period.
Dean Alex picks up the assist, his 13th of the campaign, 19th goal of the year for Cooper LaRocco, his 61st career goal. 112 points on the long and storied career. For one of the best players in this generation for Rockland. Definitely the best player in the Stephen Murphy era. At least in terms of goal and point production. .235 to go in this contest. 3-1 St. Bernard's in front. I wonder at what point would Coach Murphy consider pulling a Cincy for the extra attacker. There's a backhand chance there, and Cincy makes the stop. Of course, one of the challenges is that Rockland has got to get some sustained pressure in the Bernardian zone, and that's been easier said than done. At certain times, it's been a dogfight in a game. You would expect that between the Bernardians and Bulldogs after all. Have a timeout with 2:21 to go in the third. Shots 42-24 in favor of St. Bernard's. 23 saves for Chase Bergeron, 39 saves for Ricky Cincy. And St. B's with a 3-1 lead. Mentioned the familiarity of the upcoming opponents, I guess, in a sense. You know, for St. Bernard's, the seniors on this team would remember the trip to Sandwich. There are only 2 seniors, though, Chase Bergeron and Carter Mauger. And actually, I don't think Mauger was even on the team then. If I remember, I believe he was a transfer from Leominster. So, really, only Bergeron would remember the trip down to Bourne to play Sandwich at Gallo. Coach Sylvia would remember that, and some of the coaching staff. And they wouldn't mind making that trip again. You know, Rockland used to play Sandwich in the South Shore League. They were in there up until this year. And Cohasset Hull is a league opponent for Rockland. They're pretty familiar. If Cohasset Hull is able to make the upset happen, then Cohasset Hull's got a little bit of traveling to do. 2 minutes remain in this contest. As Bolak got a hold of it, tried to feed it for Testagrossa. He couldn't handle it. Backhand shot from Fortier offline. And the net is too far ajar to continue play. Draw will come to the right of Cincy with 1:47 remaining. Bernardians get that top line out there of Walker, Sylvia, and Canada. Shot through a lot of traffic now in front. One chance and a great save for Asensi. His 40th save of the night. Walker on the far side keeping control of it. Bernardians know as long as they control the zone and control the puck, that Asensi's never going to get the chance to come off for the extra attacker. But now LaRocco is able to skate up ice. Asensi now finally makes his way off for the extra attacker. And a sixth skater will hop on. But now St. Bernard's has a hold of it and a 3-on-1. Evan Walker will hit the empty netter. A bit of a breakdown for Rockland. They had a lot of trouble getting that extra attacker on the ice. And Evan Walker gets the insurance, his 20th goal this season, to make it 4-1. Couldn't tell you if the Bulldogs staff got caught up in the moment or something to that effect. But they were absolutely not ready. It was a good few seconds after LaRocco had entered the zone that Asensi was coming off for the extra attacker. And the player who was set in line to come onto the ice climbed over the boards. It took a couple of seconds to actually get his body over the boards. Another save for Asensi on the shot from the left side. And now words and jawing between the two teams. Obviously the Bulldogs frustrated. They know this is probably going to be the last 25.9 seconds of their season.
Number 12, Evan Walker. Assist number 7, Matt Sylvia, and number 15, Brody Kenny. Time of that empty net goal was 14:15:01, third period.
Walker gets the goal, another assist for Sylvia and assist for Kenny. Now his 14th assist of the season. 20 seconds to go. No penalties on any of all that jawing. Bolak rushing up ice, maybe seeing if he can sneak one more past. Marr with good positioning to knock him down. Mojay will just pin it against the boards. And now a wrestling fight, and frustrations boiling over at the very end of the contest. They let the last bit of jawing go. They're not going to let this go. May potentially be a couple of players who will not be allowed to take part in the handshake line at the end. .1 seconds left. Mostly all administrative here. St. Bernard's with a 4-1 lead. That will very briefly be converted into a 4-1 victory. Officials will discuss what they're going to do. It looks like Ryan Marr will go to the box, serve a roughing penalty, and that will be the only penalty that will be assessed. Officials skate over to the near side to break the news and verdict to Stephen Murphy. Ricky Asensi trying to start a chant there by slamming his stick in rhythm. And now Asensi has a bit of a laugh, just trying to go up to the top of the face-off circle. Bernardians won't seriously contest it after that. They'll let the time run out, and they'll let this game come to an end. For the first time in the statewide era, the Bernardians are on to the round of 16. They win it 4-1. A spirited game between these two sides. Shots in that third period, 17-9 in favor of the Bernardians. Brody Kenny getting a goal on a snipe to make it 3-0. Cooper LaRocco able to break up the shutout with a power play goal to make it 3-1, and then an empty netter for Evan Walker to seal it. Each team with a power play goal tonight. And Rockland cashing in on their only power play about 5 seconds into it. St. Bernard's playing an extremely disciplined game, and considering how strong that Rockland power play was in that one flash that we got to see them. Discipline was the key factor. I talked with Stephen Murphy before the game. He said that was going to be one of the keys. Although his side was a little less disciplined, even then, only 2 real substantial penalties in the contest for Rockland. And neither of them really of the sloppy variety either. The second one that led to the power play goal, one that they absolutely had to take to prevent anything bad from happening. St. Bernard's is able to take it by a score of 4-1, and they will be on to the round of 16. They'll take on either Sandwich or Cohasset Hull. That opponent to be confirmed, currently scheduled for Friday night at 7:30 at Gallo and Bourne, is that particular game, assuming they don't postpone it again due to the terrible conditions that the blizzard has dumped on the Cape. St. Bernard's rises to 18-3, and on to the round of 16. Rockland season comes to an end with an 8-13 record. But this Bulldog side was spirited, played tough. And even though the shot's 45-24 in the end in favor of the Bernardians, you know, strong, sound defensive play and great goaltending by Ricky Asensi, who made 41 saves on 44 shots. A great performance as a swan song there. 23 saves for Chase Bergeron. The power play goal late soiled the shutout. But Bergeron will be happy to take that victory, and perhaps a return trip to Sandwich is in the cards for him. Or maybe it'll be a home game right here in Fitchburg against Cohasset Hull. We'll find out in due time what the plan's going to be. But we can tell you this, though, St. Bernard's is on to the next round. And we'll invite you to stay tuned to FATV for more coverage on where that next game is, and perhaps if we'll pick a game up sometime down the road. Couldn't tell you what the plans are going to be yet for that, but we're at least happy to bring you this playoff game here from the Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg. St. Bernard's wins it 4-1. Goals for Matthew Sylvia, for Toby Molak, for Brody Kenny, and Evan Walker for the Bernardians. Cooper LaRocco's got the lone goal for Rockland. And one last thought for Ricky Asensi is, you know, with how great a night he played in goal for Rockland, I'd be sad if this was the last game of organized hockey he ever plays. I hope that he'll be able to go on and play hockey at a higher level, because it looks like he's got the skills to do it, especially with the season he had and with the performance that he had tonight. Very impressed by his goaltending. But we'll leave it here. Final score, again, for the final time here from the Civic Center. It was St. Bernard's 4 and Rockland 1. For Isaiah Manuel on camera, I'm Daniel Bolak saying thank you for tuning in. Whether you're tuning in from Fitchburg, from Rockland, or anywhere else in this whole wide world, we thank you for tuning in regardless. And we hope to see you next time. Till then, so long from Fitchburg.